Universidades abiertas de estudios especializados comprometidos con la excelencia. Bienvenidos a Inglés Intermedio. Mi nombre es Daira Consuegra. Welcome. I am very pleased to welcome you. With your delivery, I am sure we will achieve the goals we have set for ourselves. You are a fundamental part of us. If you want to succeed, don't just stare at the ladder. Start climbing step by step until you reach the top. Never consider study as an obligation, but as an opportunity to penetrate the beautiful and wonderful world of knowledge. Albert Einstein. And here we have the dosage and organization of the assignment. The modules that we are going to cover are 4. The first one is called Greetings and Introductions, which its length is 1 week with 12 hours of practical work. And we are also going to have a total work of 12 hours. The second module is Grammar in Context for Communicative Purposes 1. It lasts 1 week with a theoretical practical work time of 12 hours, which is a total of 12 hours. The third module is Vocabulary, which lasts 1 week for 12 hours of practical work time and theoretical work time as well. And we will have 12 hours in the right amount of work. And the fourth is Grammar in Context for Communicative Purposes, number 2, which will last 1 week, which will have theoretical practical work time of 12 hours with a total work of 12 hours. This total estimated theoretical practical hours is 48 hours at the end. In here, we have the evaluation notes in which we are going to have the auto-valoration, which is 5%, the attitudinal valoration, which is 5%, Unit 1 is 15%, Unit 2 is 20%, Unit 3 is 15%, Unit 4 is 20%, and the final exam is 20%, which makes a total of 100. Here we have the assessment form and the auto-assessment form. We have the attitudinal evaluation form in which I'm going to grade the students according to the way they perform. For example, if you develop all your performances and all your assignments and all the tests, you're going to have 100 of 100, which will give you the last valoration for your final average. Introductions. When you're going to have our classes, it's good that you find a comfortable place with sufficient light and no distractions. For example, turn off the TV and your phone if it's necessary. Remember to perform a self-confidence exercise, repeating twice. I can, I am capable, I am enough. Read the objectives carefully. They will help you understand what you're supposed to learn. And don't skip ahead. Complete the tasks in the order established and don't move on to another task until you have finished the previous one. And participate in the Zoom video conferences sessions. You will find the links in the virtual platform. In Unit 1, we're going to study Greetings and Introductions, which is worth 15% of your average. The general objective for this unit is to describe the verb to be and form of courteous expressions to show politeness and respect when addressing others. The specific objectives are to identify the different ways to greet someone in English appropriate to use them in written and spoken English. And we're going to recognize vocabulary related to family, clothing, and small talks to use when having basic conversations in English. The readings that you will have are readings, greetings, and small talk, the verb to be, and videos for your personal advancement. We have the video number 1, which is personal information in English for beginners in English. Video number 2, family members in English. Video number 3, greetings and introductions. And a video made by myself, which is greetings and small talk. You have complementary readings that you can find. For example, English small talk topics for starting friendly conversations in fluent U English, family members English vocabulary, members of the family in English, and giving personal information in English from englishathome.com. This is all for Unit 1. What are the activities that you are going to develop in Unit 1? Well, you have to develop a dialogue, which is word 10%, and then you have an activity number 2, which is the test. After you read, after you are in class, then you will develop all this. The activities on the calendar are suggested like this. You're going to start reading the suggested books and watching the videos, and then you're going to carry out the dialogue and the unit. This will be done on week number 1. Then when we finish, we will continue with unit 2, which is 20% of your average. And we are going to cover grammar in context. And what are we going to study here? Well, we're going to analyze the main differences between the present simple and the present continuous to use them correctly. In the specific objectives, we're going to recognize and use correctly the present simple and the present continuous tenses to use them in written and spoken English. And identify the use of regular and irregular verbs to use them in different tenses appropriately. The materials that we are going to use are the readings number 1, which is about the simple present and present continuous tense. We have 4 videos. Video number 1 is the simple present grammar verb tenses. Video number 2, regular and irregular verbs. Video number 3, grammar in context. And video number 4 by myself is about the simple present tense. Complementary readings, we have simple present tense, global site, and present continuous about learn English. What activities are we going to do? Well, we're going to have a PowerPoint presentation, which is 15% of the activity, and then we have a second test, which is 5% of the grade. The activities suggested are, as always, start with the readings and suggested books, then watch the videos and carry out the dialogue and the test, unit 2, on week number 2. On week 3, we're going to have vocabulary, and this is 15%. We are going to describe daily activities to learn and acquire the related vocabulary and use it in conversations correctly. We're going to recognize nouns and pronouns in written and spoken English to improve your communication skills. The specific objectives that we are going to cover are identify daily routines, seasons, and weather to use these terms in related English conversations. And also recognize nouns and pronouns to distinguish them from other parts of speech. The materials that we will use are the readings, reading number 1, vocabularies and personal pronouns. We have 2 videos, personal pronouns, and the video number 2, English vocabulary about the weather. We also have complementary readings like climate and weather vocabulary, words, phrases about weather, language learning with Preppy blog. We have what are personal pronouns, rules and examples that we are going to find on rules and examples on Grammarly. And what are plural nouns, rules and examples on Grammarly, and also writing dates, cardinal numbers versus the ordinal numbers on Editarians. We see what you don't. The activities that are suggested for this unit are the PowerPoint presentation, which is 10%, and we are also going to have a test. The activities on the calendar are for the 3rd week, and you have to do the same. Start with the reading and suggested books, and then watch the videos and carry out the dialogue and the test, unit 3, and of course, attend the virtual classes. It's very important that you are there as well. And finally, on the unit number 4, we are going to have the simple past tense and the past continuous tense, which is 20% of your average, in which we have the general objective to explain in an oral manner the past simple and the past continuous while talking about completed actions in the past. Specifically, we're going to recognize past simple verbs based on different time expressions to improve your communication skills in English And we are going to identify and use the past continuous tense to make sentences correctly. The materials that we are going to use are the reading number 1, which is grammar in context for communicative purposes. We have 2 videos, the ED pronunciation in English, which is the past tense, and what were you doing in the past continuous tense. Complementary reading, we have pronunciation of ED in English. We have past continuous grammar English club, and time expressions in English, learn American English, and online. The activities here are 15% because you have to develop a comparative chart between the past and the past continuous. We're going to have another test, which is 5%, and the final exam. This is on week number 4. So what you have to do, you have to start reading the suggested books, then watch the videos and carry out the dialogue and the test on unit 4. After having all the material, after suggested material is studied, then you're going to take the final exam. Thank you very much. I hope that you have had a great time, and I hope that we have a lot of knowledge covered during our beautiful classes next week. Thank you very much.